Hey, it's Wolfy-Chan, and I'm back with another manga review, and this one is Fullmetal Alchemist Volume 5. Whoa, what a manga. So, this one continues with Winry, and they go into Rush Valley. Rush Valley is where all of the automail experts, repairers, all that stuff with automail basically all coincide into this. So there's a lot of people who have automail or are with automail or doing stuff um, like fixing people with automail. So it just depends. So, of course, Ed now with Winry go walk through. She's having a good old time. Then there's an arm wrestling contest. Well, guess what happens? Somebody ticks Ed off, and so bam, he challenges the guy with arms, mutates his arm so that it's a weaker metal than his own, and breaks his arm. Wow. That's fun. So then what happens? Well, they want to see all of his, automail, which happens to be his leg and his arm. Instead of being an awesome person, awesome, and just lifting up it, and here's my leg. No, you don't get to see the end of it. No, you don't. I'm an adult. Which they're not really, but just stay alchemist. You could say it. He then gets his pocket watch jacked, and that's not great. Find out it's this one girl, runs, tries and gets it back. When we finally grabs her after very long, arduous stuff, funny enough. And they bring her to this really great automail expert who's great with metals, great with all this stuff, made the girl who was running's legs, all that good stuff, and then basically says, I want to be your apprentice. He's like, no, I'm really not into apprentices. They get along, hang out, a baby's born. I guess instead of Hughes' kid being born, it's this kid, and Winry birthed it, so it's kind of interesting. But after that, you thought, she's like, yeah, it's Rockbell. Picone? Or Picoe? Or Picote? I'm not really good with her name. But she's my grandmother. Oh, okay. I'm definitely not going to train you. But I know you're going to be in good hands. Believe me, I know. And they're like, did you have a thing with her? We're not talking about that. So that's a really good part. Then they move on to, and now go back to their teacher, who I really do like her. I believe her last name's Curtis? But I love her character. I love everything she's been through. I know what she's been through. I know how horrible it is. I'm not going to tell you probably until volume 6 what happens, because it's probably when they talk about it. But she is, like, next to Ed and Al, one of my favorite characters in this. So they go back. She bursts through the door, kicking Ed in the face. And it's like, oh, it's so good to see you guys. You're a dog of the military. I'm not happy about this. So it'd be like if somebody was really good at training, really physically inept, great with guns, everything, but just hated the military. Funny enough, there's a lot of people like that. But was so good and so renowned, and people just didn't know their existence but knew automatically afterwards. They're amazing. This is what happens with Mrs. Curtis. And of course, she coughs up blood a lot. That's like her main thing. Is like, I'm so angry at you. And just blood kind of dripping down. So it is very interesting. But of course, she's mad at them for that. And then they're like, after a while, she then goes, that's not your real arm and leg. And your brother's not even in that armor. And he's like, how did you know? And another thing is like, he can mutate without a circle. That's a really big thing. And she goes, you saw that thing, didn't you? And he's like, what are you talking about? You saw it. And that's why you can't transmutate without a circle. Yeah, I saw the thing. Of course, once again, I watched all the anime and all the movies, except for Brotherhood. And I know what the whole secret thing is. I know what the thing that they're talking about. It's just kind of funny to see that. And there was a little bit before they were like, why don't you have any kids? Number one, I would have been like, well, I have tuberculosis. Do you think I can physically have kids? But I know really why. You know what? She didn't say anything. So, she finds out about all that and then goes, tell me what happened. Tell me everything. Tell me everything. So the story then kicks off with their whole backstory about their mom, how they learned alchemy, how they lost their mom, and how, when they didn't have a parent, they went to Mrs. Curtis, saw how good she was at alchemy, wanted to learn, all that stuff. She has a soft spot for adorable kids, no wonder. And then goes, I'll need them for a month. And they're like, sure. And Pico Rockwell, or Grandma Rockwell, or Rockbell, I don't know, says, oh, okay, just, come home. So she takes them. They're kind of yammering about stuff, and then she's like, you want to go to a lake? Yeah, we do. They're all happy. They go to a lake. It's nice and cool. Then they go on a boat ride. Fun boat ride. Then they go into an island. Fun island. Then they get thrown a knife and then told that they're going to be there for a month. Alone. Without anything. Except the knife. And weird things ensue. There's a guy with a mask that chases them at the end of this volume and is like, you guys are outsiders. This is my island. I kill anybody that's an outsider. That's how the volume ends. Can't wait for the next one, but cheese potato. Cheese potato. That's all I'm going to say. Cheese potato. But I really like this one. It introduced the character, the teacher, the main driving force for why they do stuff. And then they also introduced Ed and Al's father, just by name, Hohenheim. And I hope, and I know I'm going to have this feeling that they're going to give a lot more details about Hohenheim. But I want to know everything about Hohenheim. You only got a little bit of a taste in the anime of Hohenheim. And I did like where they went with Hohenheim in the anime and all that stuff. But it's interesting to see that the Mrs. Curtis knows about Hohenheim. And they know that he knows about the Philosopher's Stone, all this stuff. Of course he does. So it is very, very interesting. And of course they're mad because, not our dad. He's not our dad. So it is interesting. And I can't wait to read the next one. So, if you like this video, definitely like. Leave it in the comment section below. What do you think of Volume 5 of Fullmetal Alchemist? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is there a conversation that we need to have? Do we? And definitely don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe. I make anime videos or manga videos every day from Sunday to Saturday, Monday to Sunday. Whenever you need a video, I got you covered. And if you want to follow me on social media, I have a Twitter and Facebook page, and the links are down below. And definitely will let you know when I'm streaming on Twitch. I know, I stream. Not because I do it's a stream thing. I just like playing video games too. So I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful day. Wolfy-Chan out. Bye.